Did you convince your tenant, Linda Morelli, to testify that Tricia Stanley was killed by her boyfriend, David Allen?
Film acting. Viola Davis. The Weight of Truth.
I've been right here with you, Troy. I got a life too.
Viola Davis is the actor you watch and think, oh, that's not acting. That's just a person having their life fall apart in front of me.
You let one woman die in the street and another rot in the freezer. God knows you deserve worse.
She doesn't smooth out the edges. She doesn't try to look good while her characters are falling apart. She lets the tears be ugly, the breaths be ragged, the anger be dangerous, and somehow it never feels like a stunt.
Just because I said if she's great, I gotta be just as good, because she's not gonna make me look bad.
It feels like she walked into the frame with her whole life and just told the truth.
You can't hold a child responsible for what God gave him to be.
From a childhood of poverty and hunger, to Juilliard, to Broadway, to the first black actor to win the Oscar, Emmy and Tony, and then an EGOT, she built that truth on top of serious craft.
I became an artist, and thank God I did, because we are the only profession that celebrates what it means to live a life.
Let's break down how she actually does it and what you can steal. Okay, first acting lesson for you. Early life. Turn hunger into fuel. Davis was born in South Carolina in 1965 and grew up mostly in Central Falls, Rhode Island. We're talking real poverty. Condemned apartments, rats, no heat, not enough food. She's talked about stealing, climbing into dumpsters, going to school in dirty clothes and getting laughed at for how she looked and smelled. Acting starts for her as escape. School plays, speech competitions, a local youth theater, places where she could be someone other than the hungry kid. But here's the key. She never cut that past off. The girl who was scared and hungry is still in the room with her when she plays fear, humiliation, or hope as an adult. Here's your first acting takeaway. Your history is not a handicap. All the stuff you're embarrassed about, the things you survived, that's emotional gold. Don't perform your trauma, but don't pretend it doesn't exist. Learn how to reach into it and then put it back when the scene is over. Ready for another acting lesson? Training, Juilliard, and theater. As a lab. Davis studied theater at Rhode Island College, then got into Juilliard. 4 years of voice, movement, Shakespeare, Chekhov, all of it. She has said she often felt out of place there. A dark-skinned black woman from poverty in a very white, very classical institution. But the training she got is all over her work. She knows exactly where her breath sits. She can yell at full volume and still land every word. She can whisper and you still lean forward because the support is there underneath. On stage, especially in August Wilson plays like King Hedley II and Fences, she rides huge emotional waves and still hits every beat in the writing. But the training she got is all over her work. So here's the next acting lesson. Don't confuse raw feeling with craft. If you want to go as deep as Viola Davis does, you need technique, voice, body, and text. Training doesn't make you less real. It gives your real self a container so you can go back to that place again tomorrow without destroying yourself. Here comes another one. Doubt. Making a whole person in one scene. In the film Doubt, she plays Mrs. Miller, the mother of a boy at a Catholic school. She basically has one big scene with Meryl Streep. That's it. And she walked away with an Oscar nomination. Watch what she does. She arrives polite, nervous, trying to get through the conversation quickly. She smiles tightly, keeps her hands on her bag, and you can feel her trying to be a good mother in front of authority. Then, as the nun pushes, Davis lets the truth leak out. Her son is vulnerable at home, his father is abusive, and the priest, however complicated that relationship may be, is the only adult giving him kindness. She is not there to demand punishment. She's there to protect the tiny piece of safety her son has. She doesn't scream. She doesn't do a big meltdown. She plays a woman who has already made a horrible calculation and is trying to live with it. Acting lesson number 3. If you only have one scene, don't try to cram everything in. Pick the one impossible choice your character is living with and play that fully. Viola isn't playing concerned mom. She's playing a woman who has decided which pain she can live with. That's why the scene sticks to you. Alright, let's keep going. Next acting lesson coming up. Fences. Love and rage in the same breath. In Fences, first on Broadway and then in the film, Davis plays Rose Maxon opposite Denzel Washington. There's a kitchen scene that every actor has watched at least once. Rose finds out Troy has been unfaithful and is having a baby with another woman. She doesn't start by screaming. She starts with a body that won't accept the information. The voice is tight, the sentences are clipped, like she's trying to hold herself together with grammar. Then the dam breaks. Tears, snot, full body shaking, all of it. But even in that hurricane, she never stops loving him. You can feel, I hate what you've done to me and I still want you to choose me, living in the same chest. That's what makes it brutal.
Wish the circumstances are the thing away.
And you don't want to either.
Acting lesson 4. Big emotions are almost never pure. Don't just play anger or grief. Ask, what else is here? Love, pride, humiliation, fear. Let more than one thing exist at once. That's what real people feel, and that's why her Rose feels like someone you might actually know. Okay, ready for another one? Annalise Keating. Taking the mask off on How to Get Away with Murder. Davis plays Annalise Keating, a criminal defense lawyer and law professor who is brilliant, manipulative, traumatized, and often a mess. She does something on network TV almost no one was doing. She takes the mask off, literally. There's a scene where she sits at a mirror, takes off her wig, wipes off her makeup, and just sits there. No music swell, no speech, just a woman with all her armor gone.
I took off my wig and took off my makeup, I felt was a very private moment.
The moment she pulls that wig off, the whole performance drops half a level. Her posture changes. Her voice lowers. She suddenly looks like she weighs twice as much, and not because of her body, because of what the character is carrying. And throughout the series, Davis lets Annalise be drunk, ugly crying, petty, selfish, heroic, brilliant. She doesn't chase likability, she chases honesty. Acting lesson 5. Authenticity on camera doesn't happen by accident. It's a choice. How much makeup you wear, whether you're willing to look broken, whether you let the character be unlikable, those choices are part of the performance. Don't be brave in your feelings and cowardly in your appearance. The audience believes you when all of it lines up. Here's another acting lesson for you. The help. When the story isn't yours.
Coming from this story is this kind of galvanizing of people, of women even.
In The Help, Davis played Aibileen Clark and was nominated for an Oscar. The film was a big success. People loved her performance. Years later, she said she regretted doing it. Not because of the cast, not because she didn't work hard, but because she felt the story was not truly centered on the maids. Their lives and pain were there, but the movie ultimately served a white character's awakening more than Aibileen's reality. That's the tension she's talked about her whole career. Needing to work, taking the roles you're offered, and then later realizing you want more agency in whose story you are helping tell. Acting lesson 6. You won't always have perfect material. Sometimes you say yes because you have bills. That's real. But as you grow, start asking, whose voice is this really amplifying? You can still do your best work, but you're allowed to change what you're willing to co-sign as your power increases. Last one coming. Make this one stick. Rainey The Woman King. Let your body talk in Rainey's Black Bottom.
Like I created a body that wasn't just a sort of amalgamation of male desirability, but a body that was fit to take care of myself.
In Rainey's Black Bottom, Davis plays blues singer Rainey. She gains weight, wears a fat suit, gold teeth, smeared makeup, sweat pouring down her face. She's loud, stubborn, sexually unapologetic, and absolutely not trying to be relatable. You know who Ma is before she sings because of the way Davis walks into the room, drops into a chair, fans herself, and demands what she's owed. The body tells the story first. In The Woman King, she trains like a soldier to play General Naniska. She fights, runs, commands, but she also lets you feel age and injury in the joints. This is not a superhero. This is a human who has earned every scar. Final acting lesson. Your body is not just something you drag from mark to mark. It's a storytelling tool. Decide how your character stands, sits, gets tired, eats, fights, and rests. Viola Davis doesn't just change costumes from role to role. She changes how it feels to live inside that skin. Wrap up. What you can steal. So what can you actually take from Viola Davis into your own work? Use your real life instead of pretending it never happened. Respect training so you can go into deep water and come back intact. In small roles, play a whole human, not a type. In big emotions, let more than one truth live at once. Be brave about how you show up physically. When the character needs to be messy, let them be messy. And as you gain power, be choosy about the stories you help tell. Viola Davis has built a career on carrying the full weight of truth into the frame and refusing to look away. That's the bar. If you want to learn from her, start there. Stop trying to be impressive and start trying to be honest, even when it's heavy.